College football has been around 150 years and has a very deep and storied history. Watching college football on a Saturday is as much as a tradition as wanting Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. With that said, people often debate about what the greatest program in college football history is. By no means should this video brainwash you into picking a certain school. These are just solid arguments for a few contenders to help you come up with that decision on your own. What's going on, guys? My name is Uncle Sam's Reject. I typically make sports gaming videos over on my channel, but today we're going to go over some of the best schools in the history of college football. Since college football has been around so long, the way you define the best program ever might be very different than the way I do. So let's get started. In any discussion about the best college football teams, it's no secret that Alabama has to be brought up. Over the last decade or so, Alabama has become the premier program in the country, no questions asked.
And let's go to number one in the country, Alabama! Why?
Ever since Nick Saban left the Miami Dolphins, the Crimson Tide has been insanely good. With 5 national championships since 2009, every program wants to be in Bama's shoes right now. With alumni including Julio Jones, Eddie Jackson, Mark Ingram, and Joe Namath, Alabama has produced NFL talent with ease over the past 50 years. That stream of prospects is continuing now with beasts like Tua Tagovailoa and Jerry Jeudy. Hell, Forrest Gump played there too, so we can never forget about that. Even though I am a Miami Hurricanes fan, it's not biased to say that the program has one of the best histories in college football. 5-time national champions and maybe the best year ever in 2001 are huge accomplishments by themselves. I mean, they beat 2 top 15 schools by a combined score of 124-7. Man, the U.S. produced NFL talent like Ray Lewis, Frank Gore, Michael Irvin, Jim Kelly, Ed Reed, Warren Sapp. I mean, the list just continues to go on. While the program has struggled a bit in recent years, there was no program like Miami from the mid-'80s to the early 2000s. With the 2001's team being one of the closest to an NFL team to ever step on the field, if you want to talk about the program with the highest peak of all time, it might be the U. Now it's time for the Ohio State University, who actually tried to file a trademark for the word "the." It didn't work out. The Buckeyes are 8-time national champs with players who have carved up the league at practically every position. They've even had a kicker drafted in the second round and an offensive lineman who was so good, he was up for the Heisman. It seems like everywhere you look, there's an Ohio State Buckeye on an NFL roster, from guys like Eddie George and Chris Carter to Zeke Elliott and Mike Thomas. Ohio State football is an incredibly consistent program. It's hard to think of a time in history when they weren't ranked in the top 10 to 12. The New York Times even determined them to have the most fans of any college football team in the country. So I guess you can say that means they've done something right. The USC Trojans are a program to be reckoned with. It seems like every generation has a Trojan dominating the league. From Frank Gifford to Marcus Allen, Ronnie Lott to Anthony Munoz, and Troy Polamalu to Juju, USC's got a ton of history. 11 championships, 6 Heisman winners if you count Reggie Bush, 12 NFL Hall of Famers and counting, and they have the highest winning percentage in bowl games of any school with at least 25 appearances. Now, if Sam Darnold realizes his potential, the list of USC football stars in the NFL could break through the roof. Park your recency bias at the curb for just a moment here. Consider that for the first 50 years of college football, the sport's dominant power resided in New Haven, Connecticut. Yeah, Yale University. Walter Camp, the father of American football, he played here. And yes, he made the rules up as he went along. Once the Ivies took a look at scholarship football after World War II and said no thanks, Yale ranked as the first among equals in that league through the 1970s. Of late, Yale has ceded Ivy League power to Harvard. A bitter pill to swallow indeed. Just wanted to mention them for any history buffs out there since, oh by the way, they have 18 national titles. Also, shoutouts to Oklahoma and Notre Dame. 2 great programs deserving of mentions at the very least, even if their alumni or pedigrees are just a small notch below the other schools. So who's the best? Well, that depends on how you look at it, honestly. If your criteria revolves around longevity, USC is probably your pick. If you want consistency year in and year out, then you might say Ohio State. Or if you want to go by peak era or alumni quality, Miami and Alabama are more your style. Picking the best team in a sport that's been around 150 years is really subjective, not to mention challenging in the first place. So people have their own schools of thought as to what constitutes as the best program ever. It's really a fun debate among fans that won't end anytime soon. So I want to take this time to thank the guys over at Stark Raving Sports for giving me the opportunity to come here on their platform and do this video for you guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, stop and smash that like button. Let us know down in the comment section below if you guys have different programs in mind. I'm your boy Uncle Sam's Reject, rkgames.com. I'm out of here. Peace.